Hi and welcome to my channel. This is Pearl and I'm getting ready to do this layout from the Ali Edwards kit Journey. I decided that I was going to make a layout about all the podcasts I listen to while I'm driving my kids back and forth to school. We decided to send them to a charter school that's about 25 minutes away without traffic, but I have 4 kids, and so at the time I was driving to 3 different schools and they had different start times and different end times. So all in all, with the drop off and pickup, I was in the car for about 3.5 hours a day. Now I printed those out, the pictures of the podcast, using Photoshop, and I'm trying to trim them down so that they fit. And I noticed after I glue them on that it didn't fit, so I went back and trimmed it. Now I'm going to trim that because I just wanted to put background on there. And then I'm going to get my picture, and then I noticed that I want to put background on the picture as well. So I'm going through my scraps from Felicity Jane and trying to decide which one to do. I was going to do the mint, but then I thought I wanted a little more color, so I'm using this colorful one with the bubbles all over it. So there's how the layout is going to look. Now I'm using my pencil to mark where where the pictures are going to go, because I want to type my journaling. Now I also want to use that title Journey, so I marked where that's going to be so I know exactly where I need to do my journaling. Now I type through my journaling. I have a love-hate relationship with this typewriter. It's made for 12 by 12 paper, but cardstock does not go through there very well, so I have to physically maneuver it, and it always leaves that dent in the top of the paper, and it doesn't load even, so I have to always make sure that it's even as well. Now I'm gonna start my journaling, and this is what I write. A few years ago, we made the decision to send the kids to a charter school that's 25 minutes away without traffic. With the kids going to 3 different schools, are all starting and ending at different times, this meant I spent up to 3.5 hours in a car a day. This is when I really got into podcasts. Here's the list of my 10 favorite ones to listen to. I noticed that a lot of these are self-help related or listening to creatives, my kinds of people. Now, after I finish all this journaling, I take the 12 by 12 white cardstock out of the typewriter and I decide, what else do I need for this layout? I've got the pictures of all the podcasts. I got the picture of me driving, the selfie. Now this layout is going to have a lot on there because the picture of the podcast takes up the whole right side of the 12 by 12 cardstock, and then my 4 by 6 picture of me driving a car is going to take the bottom half of the cardstock as well. So there's not a lot of space for me to do something, but I know I want to add just a little bit more. I typed the journaling so that the J and Y, the low-hanging portion of that word, goes in between my or goes on the outside of my journaling. So now I'm sticking things down. I stick down the picture of all my podcasts. Then I'm going to stick the picture of me down, and I decide to pop them up using foam dots. I like to have dimension on my layouts because I like to read my scrapbooks by Braille and everybody else's scrapbooks. But then I decide, oh, I need a little bit of something, just a little bit, not too much, but a little something. And so I decide to go ahead and use the doily that I accidentally put tape on, all of the doilies from my last layout. I know this doily is a little large, but I am going to go ahead and stick that down and then cut the bottom portion off when I'm actually done with the layout. So I stick down the doily, and I'm turning it because there's a little stain on the doily and I want to make sure that part is covered on the layout. I decide I'm going to stick that down, but I'm thinking, what else can I use? I know that the journey's going to go there, and I'm going through the different embellishments from Allie's kit. I think I want to use the car because I am in a car. So I think I'm going to put the wood veneer right by the word journey. And I want to put something on the top left and the bottom right corner of this layout. think about this acrylic car, but it's too white on white, although I do love that, as you can see by the title Journey. But I decided to put a scallop circle behind the car, and this is of white with black hearts. I think I'm going to do that, but I also look at the stamp set and decide I want to stamp embracing this journey right now. I put it against my hand because it's a brand new stamp and I want to make sure it stamps clearly, but actually it doesn't even do that. I take off the stickers of the foam dots and stick my picture down. I have a hard time with peeling the backing off the foam dots because I use my nails as a tool, so both my thumbs, the nails have broken off painfully. So I'm doing a practice stamp on a scratch piece of paper, and then I go ahead and stamp that under my picture in that little white space. I always try to clean off my stamp right after I use it and put the stamp away, or else I will lose the stamp and not clean it. I don't know if anyone else has that problem. So now I'm trying to decide what else to do. Should I put that down? And you'll see here I get very indecisive. I go ahead and put down the scallop circle, and I put glue using the Tombow Mono adhesive, and I decide I'm not going to use that one, and I get my 2-inch scallop circle paper punch, and I punch it out of this floral paper and decide I'm going to use that. I stick that down, and I'm getting ready to put the car on top of that to ground it. And I actually do, but you'll see here I changed my mind again for the second time. But I'm also looking to see what else is in Allie's kit. I think, oh, I should use one of these triangles, and it fits because you can still see that Off Camera with Sam Jones podcast, the wording on there. So I decide I'm going to use the word journey, and I glue that down, and then you'll see I'm going to change my mind again for the fourth time. Okay, I use one of the patches and put it on the top left corner, and that one says embarking on a new journey. I go ahead and glue down the acrylic word journey right above my journaling, and I glue down the wood veneer car, and I'm looking at this, and I feel like the black journey is too heavy. Oh, and I hate it when I move my layout too soon and it's not even stuck on there. So I take the black triangle off, and I put the rubber triangle that says just a part of the journey, and I put that down, and I like that better. I could have stopped at any of those and it would have been fine, but I just kept changing it. Now I feel like I'm almost done, but I have to date my layout. I date every single one of my layouts because that's also how I put them into my scrapbook chronologically. I decide I'm going to put some ink splatter, so I use the Studio Calico ink, splatter black all over, well, on the top left and the bottom right. Then I decide I'm going to put some more dots, and I take the Nouveau Crystal Drops and I put 3 pink dots on top left and 3 in the bottom right, and I apologize that you can't see that right there. I kind of tap it onto the Antonius drawer there. That's to flatten the dots just a little bit, so then it looks more like enamel dots when they're dried. And there you have the finished product. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.